Hey guys, it's Thursday, it's about 7 o'clock, and I just picked up my weekend project here. Got a Jeep Commander. I want to say this truck is 06 maybe. Oh yeah. Not quite sure how this one happened. It was a hit and run from last winter or the winter before. Got hit in the parking lot. I'm trying to figure out how you hit the corner of the door down here and you don't hit the fender. I'm thinking trailer hitch, but yet it didn't break this trim. It just punched in the door there, and that's right at the hinge. Otherwise it probably would have kept going. So we're gonna try and get that pulled out and hopefully get this one painted this weekend. It's not supposed to be very nice weather, so give me a good excuse to be in the shop. It's kind of what's going on. It's been real busy. Got some tires put on my skid steer trailer, and looks like it's gonna rain. It's about 70 degrees today. It's supposed to be maybe a little cooler tomorrow. That's about it. I'll catch up with you guys probably either tomorrow evening or on Saturday at some point. We'll give you some progress on that Jeep, show you what I make out on that. I'm going home. I'm going to try and get my grass cut. I got my mower loaded up over there. I got to hitch up to that and boogie on home and try and get that done. Get my 3 acres of grass cut before it starts raining. We got a little job to do tomorrow, probably a 4-hour morning type job. And then I'm either going to go home and cut my grass then, or I am going to try and get it cut tonight. I don't know which. Not looking forward to starting on that Jeep. I'm not sure how I'm going to fold that back out to get it right. I'm afraid it's going to split the minute I start pushing on it. So we'll see what happens. Guys, it is Saturday, and we got the Jeep Commander inside, and I'll show you where I'm at. I've already got the trim off the center of the door there, and I've already started to grind some of this away. I took a block of wood on the inside and pushed out as much as I could. The right way to do this would probably be to pull the door off, because the hinge is right in this area, the lower hinge, and I'm guessing, I'm not 100% sure, there's a reinforcement here because you can see it's work hardened right in that area. There's a crease where it's hit. That may also be where the inner door skin comes to it. So what I'm going to do now that I got the paint pulled away, I am going to try and stud weld and pull some of this out. I've got tape on my edge here so I didn't screw up the fender. We're going to give that a try here. And I'll get that set up and see how that's going and then turn you guys. Alright guys, hang on one second here. Alright. We're taking the panel beater and we're going to weld this electrode in and use this pry bar, and we're going to try and pull up on this area. I tried a few spots, it's working. So I'm going to try not to be blocking this, but it's such a small area. It's moving, it's just not moving real well. It's pretty hardened. It's been this way for a while. I may have to weld some draw pins to it and slide hammer it. But I've moved it quite a bit so far. I still have ½ an inch to come out with it, so I'll show you how close it is right now. After only pulling it a couple of times, I know this doesn't seem like real-time stuff here, but I'll put the battery charger on this. I think the battery in my panel beater is bad, so back the zoom out. But I gotta come out to here, so I'm, I don't know, 3/8 of an inch off. it's close up here, but it's this area down here, and this is all behind the hinge. I start to get real close right here, so that doesn't have to come very far. It's this area, and we can't pack that, so it's got to come out. I dread taking this door off to get that pulled off, but we're gonna try it this way. So okay guys, elapsed time 1 hour. Really good work spot to put the camera. I got this metal worked out within probably, at the deepest, 1/8 of an inch of where it needs to be. In this center part here, it's so work hardened that I don't know how I could get it apart and get it to come out without taking the door off and getting behind the hinge. I stud pulled it with the panel beater as close as I could get it, which is quite a bit. The edge of the door seam here is dead nuts on, so that was my most important part, because I don't want a bunch of mud on the edge of that door seam. I need to grab a razor blade real quick instead of bullshitting here. I need to cut that mud out of the seam. So hang tight, fellas. Oh, it's a crummy day in Ohio. It's 50 degrees and raining, just miserable. But we had a gorgeous week, so I can't bitch too much. Ooh, that's still wet. We're good. I thought that was, felt like it was starting to kick on me when I was putting my last smear. That's why it looks kind of like poop right there. So that's where we're at for now. I've got a piece of masking paper down here so I didn't get crap all over that ground effect. But I'm going to say I probably have another, I don't know, hour and a half in mud work on this. It's going to probably take me one more smear of body filler to get it right. I did wipe the door down before I started, so I'm going to clean again. I'm going to knock this down once it just starts to kick, and I'm going to clean this up a little bit, and I'm going to mask this off down here. There's a lot of crap still on the door. There's a scratch down, oh, never mind, that was tar. We'll get the door prepped. We'll take a scuffy pad, gray Scotch-Brite, and some scuff stuff, or Comet, or whatever, but I use the scuff stuff. And we're going to get the bottom of this door prepped. And this is going to be a blend, probably in this body line right here, to get rid of it, because we have a pinstripe up here, and we have this, one of those puffy emblem decals that have the foam tape on the back of them that's super thin. If I take that off, it's garbage. So we're just going to leave it. There's a little scuff in the door that I'm going to try and wet sand out. I'm going to buff the whole door on the truck. Excuse me. So that's where we're at for right now. I'll bring you back when I'm ready for another smear. Tricky, 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 tricky. Okay. This is smear number 2. I think I've just about got it. It's just kind of a pain because you've got this inner body line here that's covered up with the trim, but I taped this off to try and keep the mud out of there, and I'll have to get my finger in there and blend that in. I think I've got just a tiny low spot right there, so when this kicks off pretty good, I'm going to hit it with some 80 on the hand block and rough that in one more time. And I think I'm going to do a lick right down through there. This is good. This was a little funky in here. Most of the damage was right here, but it rolled this out. So as I was blocking, I found a high spot. I tapped that in with the body hammer. So that's where we're at for right now. Probably after I get that little low blocked out in here, or get this blocked out and fill that little low in there, I will try and reset that trim up against there. That trim's a pain in the ass to get off. The first 2 clips were broken. I broke the 3rd one, and then the rest of them came out okay. So The very ends of it have double-sided tape on it, and I'm going to have to get at least 1 or 2 more trim clips, see if I can find those, and so that I can at least attach this one right there. If it's got one broken, that's not the end of the world, but I'd like to have them all intact so that it doesn't rattle. It's not like it's a diesel, it's not going to vibrate a lot, but things happen, and then you hear weird vibration, you wonder what it is, and it'll be that piece of plastic trim cladding on the side of the door. So I'll block that off when that kicks, and get that little low filled, as I've said 3 times already, because I'm babbling on. I had too much coffee this morning, and we'll go from there. Alright guys, we're getting real close here. Not ready for primer yet, just kidding. Just shaking it up a little bit. This stuff's magic, but it isn't that magic. It's working out pretty good. I realized that there's also a body line in here, and I kept getting the low. This was the worst of that dent right in through here. So I had to make one more lick across there, and it's still pretty gummy right now, so I gotta wait a little bit, and I'm gonna block that one more time, and I think it'll be ready for some glaze. And then we're going to soft tape it from this edge up, and we're just going to try and concentrate primer in this area here, because I'm going to do a blend up here with the clear coat, so I'm going to try and keep everything below that. Like I said, there's an emblem under here. I'm not taking that off, because I'm not going to clear the rest of the door. Pinstripe up here, just not going to deal with it. It's just too much for a little job like this. So I've got this U-Pole High No. 5 primer. It's a 1K primer, but this stuff is fantastic. It's almost not worth putting primer in your gun for these little spots. Yes, I like the 2K better. Yes, the 2K will hold out longer. Yes to all those things. But this stuff is good stuff. It's like 20 bucks a can, but it's worth it. So while we're waiting for that, I'll show you my newest addition to the spray gun family. I just picked this up today. I went to my auto parts to pay my my account off, and I happened to see this on the shelf, brand new in the box, with a sticker that said 50 bucks. Get into the light. This is the Velvethamma SRI. It's got a 1.0 tip in it. This is a touch-up detail gun. I've wanted a little one for a while, and I have that Ingersoll there. That's got a 0.8 tip in it. It's almost just too small for clear. You really can't do a job the size of the one I'm doing with that. Yes, I could use the bigger gun, but for 50 bucks, I wasn't going to pass that dude up. It came with that little 3-ounce, or I'm sorry, that's a 4-ounce aluminum cup. It's an aluminum bodied gun. It's really light. It also came with a plastic 4-ounce cup, and you can get an 8-ounce, I think is the gun they put on what they call the Velvethamma Bumper Demon. So they have those. I thought that was a steal. I think these guns are a couple hundred online. I haven't looked for a long time, but that's my newest addition, and I think we're going to use that today. So, in light of trying to not make this into an hour-long extravaganza, I'm going to cut this off again. I'm going to come back when I've got this in full glaze and blocked out and throw in some primer. Okay, bodywork is done. I sanded all this, finished it with 320, and then it's scuffed up in here and scuffed on the clear down here. Back taping it right now. Trying to get ready for a little poof can fun here. Put some primer on it. farther with my paper than I would for the spray gun, because those cans spray pretty wide. And this is black. I don't need any primer on the rest of my brush here. Probably overkill, but I don't want to be cleaning up primer spatter. I back taped inside this jam a little bit right there. I didn't do anything at the bottom. I got a piece of paper hanging out the bottom, and I'm not trying to put primer way down there. Fun. What else would I be doing on a crappy Saturday afternoon? It's time to start getting my boat ready to put it in the water. We had a little bit of nice weather, but it kind of went by the wayside. We had 70-degree temperatures yesterday. Almost 80. Out of town for the weekend. They get back tomorrow, so cross your fingers, everybody, that we don't have any tragedies. I'm sure that will suffice for what I'm doing. I've wiped that down with some spray weight glass cleaner. I've waxed and grease removered it before I ever started. After I get the primer on it, I'm going to use the scuff stuff and the gray scuff pad on the whole lower half of that door. But for now, that'll buy me some time, because that primer still needs about an hour to cure. So, without further ado, I'll figure out what I do with that can of primer, and we'll get to it. Alright, as I showed you guys before, you pull high number 5 primer filler. I'm going to shake this a little bit and get to it, mask up. Even though this goes on really wet, there shouldn't be any overspray, but I have a mask, why not use it? Alright. Let's see what we got. The way I'm going to prime this, I'm going to prime not shooting up under that tape. I'm going to prime shooting down away from it. And then my second coat will be just over bodywork. And then probably just past the bodywork, and then third coat bodywork only. You want to start outside and work your way back toward your bodywork. If you start just on your bodywork and work outwards, sometimes it can bullseye. I think we're going to shake some more. I'm not liking this. That sounds better. Oh yeah. flash, and I'll put 2 more coats over it, and we'll come back and catch it. Alright guys, here's where we're at on this one. Primer's on. I had a little funkiness to my body line down here. I blocked that back out, reprimed it, guide coated it, and while I'm waiting, I've got my gray scuff pad with some scuff stuff. And I'm going over this door, trying to get all the crap off of it. And get in all these areas. So I'm probably going to wrap this up. I'm going to upload this one for you guys. We'll have a part 2 later. This video is going to start getting real long. So I don't want it to get too long. I'll see how much time I have. Maybe I'll keep it rolling. I don't know. But chances are I'll have a half an hour worth of painting and masking for you guys too. So we'll probably go with that. And upload this one separate. We'll have this be a part 1. You always want to, I've used the red Scotch Brights to do this before, but the gray is probably better, especially for a metallic, which this is not. It just leaves a finer scratch. I like the scuff stuff, but you can use Ajax or Comet or whatever you like. Doesn't really matter as long as you have something to get the scratch in it. And the cleaners will actually help get some of the contaminants off of it. I've been over this door a couple times with the scuff stuff here, so it should get us real close, and then I'll go back over and dry scuff some of the areas. This should be pretty much good to go. And I'll retape everything, repaper it. I've got to wipe down the inside of the door jambs where that body damage was. I've got to put a little squirt of etch primer on that, and we'll get some base coat on that so that that is black inside. Problem is it's behind the door hinge, so I don't know how much we're going to get. I may brush touch that, but I want to get corrosion protection on that bare metal. So that's it, and that's that. Probably should have got some cleaner water out. That water's got a lot of suds in it. That primer's only been drying for about a half an hour. I don't want to get too carried away here. So one nice thing about the 1K product, it dries pretty quick. I don't like to sand it too quick, even though it feels dry, because I end up with a bunch of scratch swells in it. And I'll wipe this this down again with some glass cleaner. So that's that. Peel this masking tape off before it becomes a permanent fixture to the truck. Especially down here where I've got it stuck to that textured trim cladding. That always tends to make a nice mess if you don't get rid of it. So, I'll cut you guys loose there. We'll get this one, get it off the stand here. We'll get a little close-up peekaboo of what's going on here. I'm going to grab a towel and sort of dry this a little bit here. Sorry about the shaky cam, guys, but I wanted to get that off the stand and get you guys close up. Alright, she's scuffed. You can see the water evaporating off of it there. It's nice and dull. That's what we want. So I'll come back, I'll get that blocked out, and we'll get some paint on it. I'll catch you guys later. Alright guys, I said I was going to upload the last one, but I caught my second wind and I thought I'd finish this, but that turned out to be a bad idea too, because I wasn't as ready, willing, and able as I thought I was. Everything's ready to go. I went to put the sealer on and I ran the sealer, so we'll catch up on that one tomorrow. I would not have imagined that 1.0 tip and that new gun that I bought would have ran that sealer. And I moved pretty quick. It looked like it was putting it on wet, so I really boogied on it, and yeah. It's got a dripper right at the bottom of that channel where the molding goes over, and then on the next body line down, it's coming down there too. And it looks like even the bottom body line's got a little something going on, so I chased it with the heat gun after about 15 minutes. I'm done with it for tonight. I'm tired, I'm going home. I'll revisit this one in the AM. So, I'm really going to upload this one now for you. I'm sorry, it's going to be one of those videos where we think we're going to get to the end result, but we're not going to quite hit it tonight. So, have a nice weekend. I'll catch you guys tomorrow.